And welcome back to another edition of Wolverine Chat. Once again, I'm your host, Tim Raymond. I apologize about my voice. A lot of yelling and a little touch of a cold got me sick this weekend, so my voice is a little bit under the weather. A lot of screaming at the Michigan or Oregon game, and then my wife took me to the Red Wing game. I haven't seen the Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena yet, so it was something cool to go watch. They beat Buffalo 2-1. But long story short, my voice is just raspy. Welcome to another. It's like every 4 years of the Olympics. This is election day. Go vote. That's all I'm going to say. Just go vote. Vote for whoever you want, but don't make it like some of my people that if you voted for the wrong person, you're not going to be friends anymore. Just vote. Be friends with that person. You can disagree. I disagree so heartily with the other side. I'm supporting Trump, but if you're supporting Harris, we can talk about it. And at the end of the conversation, we can be friends. We don't have to call each other fascists and Hitler and everything like that. And yes, it goes to both sides sometimes, but in my opinion, it's more on the left. But that doesn't matter. Just you have a right to vote for who you want. It's although people say it's a democracy, it's not. It's a constitutional republic. Remember that we live in a republic, okay? Representative. We hire people to represent us. We don't represent ourselves. The people we hire, the people we vote in, okay? Big difference. That's why it can be you can not win the general election. You can the popular vote and still be president because we go by the college. Okay, everybody has so many people in their state, and it's the electoral college. That was I think back in I don't know when it was early 1800s that we set it up. I might be wrong on those dates, but it's been a long time. So that's my point. Vote and let's stop the hate. Okay, that's just be passionate. You can ask my wife. I'm as passionate as it gets when it comes to politics, but I'm not mean. I'm not hurtful. Okay, that's where the country needs to turn around. Michigan versus Oregon, 28 or 38-17. I'm going to go over what my opinion is. A lot of people think it was worse than that and so hard to watch. Other people think, hey, you know what? They hung in there. They fought back, and they were close to making this a very doable game. So we'll talk where I land on that. As far as the game, let's go over some stats here. 270 yards for Michigan, 470 for Oregon. And remember, I think 300 of those yards were in the first half. That first half, they scored 4 out of the first 5 drives. It was just the easiest. It was like going through butter, and that was hard to watch. That was very difficult, but I never walked away. A lot of these people, they don't care. I mean, I know people that are the biggest Michigan fans, and they have nothing for Michigan, and that might be you, but not me. I wanted to win every game, and if they were 4-8, and they won their 4th game, I would cheer them when they won their 4th game, okay? And I'm going to cheer them against Indiana. I'm going to cheer them against Northwestern, and I'm going to cheer them, of course, against Ohio State, and I'll be watching every game. Yards running. Michigan had 165 yards, a lot of those yards from quarterback Alex Orji again. Yards, let's see. No, that was yards passing. My bad. Yards, yeah, that's right. Yards rushing was 105 yards. Barely got over 100 once again. That offensive line is not blocking up front. They're doing a great job protecting Davis Warren. We're not getting any sacks, but 176, so 294 yards for them, 176 yards rushing for Oregon. They touched the ball. They got 6.6, but when we touched the ball, we got 5.4. Third down, big stat right here. Big stat. 10 for 15. I talked about this last week. If it's 3rd and 10, 12, they're going to get it. If it's 2 or 3, maybe we can stop them. But you can't give up. What's that? 30s, like 70% to see 15. A third. So 2/3 of your third downs are first downs. I said this last week, you work so hard to keep them behind the sticks. I don't know what that is. I don't know if we're giving too much cushion. Just still not tackling. I know we're missing a little bit of that still. Now our, Will Johnson was out, Charles Hill was out. So once again, we're missing some of our best guys. Second half they did better, but it's tough when it's third down and you think you got it. I don't even want to talk about that stupid. They finally stop them at the 50-yard line. And what happens? That stupid, penalty lined up wrong. You can't line up right on top of the guard, the snapper. Oh my gosh, that was one of the most frustrating things that happened. Okay, well, one thing I want to say, Tommy Doman, a little better, 45 yards per kick. He had 5 punts. Their guy had 46.2, so doing a little better. I gave him some grief last week. Doing better here. Passing, Warren, 13 for 23, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He is looking better. His feet work is a lot better. He's looking downfield as he's roaming out, moving. Here's the thing. He still gets out of the pocket too quick. I don't know if you'd agree with me on that or not. But he sees that running coming, that rush comes, and he just jumps out. Trust your protection, Davis. Stay in there and trust it, and then get your looks and read. Now, if they're on top of you or coming at you, yes. And sometimes you had to move, but I still think you're moving too quick. You're not staying in the pocket and you're rolling out. Michigan, as far as rushing, Alex Orji, 6 rushes for 39 yards, 6.5 per rush. Donovan Edwards, 10 rushes for 52, 5.2. He had some nice runs. He's getting better. They're not running a lot with him, but at 5.2, you can't, they got to, and Donovan, they've just got to block better. Our receivers have got to block better sometimes. That's one of the things I loved about this team last few years. Roman Wilson, Bell, all those guys just block downfield so well. And this year, not so much. But so Edwards is getting better. He's getting better every game. I just wish we could start this. I know this sounds horrible, but if we could start the season, just start it over. I really think we would be a lot better. I don't think we'd be in the playoffs because I still don't think we're going to beat Ohio State. I don't think we'd beat Texas or Oregon. I think we'd have 3 losses, maybe 4 even. But, we're going to we'd definitely beat Illinois. We'd definitely beat Washington. I think Texas would be a lot closer. Who knows? Maybe we could beat them. Loveland continues to be a stud. 7 catches for 112 yards. 112 for 7 catches. But let's get Payne O'Leary. He got a touchdown on it. Warren just had a beautiful thread that pass. And I told you probably don't remember this, a couple years ago in a podcast, a year ago in the spring game, that not this year's spring game, but 2023, I believe. He was impressive, and he's finally showing something. Tyler Morris, another touchdown. So a couple thrown touchdowns. Can you believe that? So hey, you know what? It's getting better. I talked about the punting. So, you know what? It was a tale 2 halves. But here's the thing. There was 3 particular plays. And I could probably, if I really want to come down with it, probably 5 or 6. But the 3 plays that I think changed the game and could have really made this a possible W for your Wolverines. It's that first non-touchdown. It was not. And let me say this. It wasn't, that's the way it goes. Yes, you're right. It's subjective. It's up to people. But we have rules in the game for what happened on that first touchdown does not happen. Who's the gentleman that caught that? Evan Stewart. How could you miss that? How could Michigan's guys miss it? Don't they have guys up at the booth watching that? And that's step 1. Step 2, all touchdowns are reviewed. But somehow this is not.
This is not okay. This was a huge play. So I'm just not okay with that. I'm okay with a lot of things. What I'm not okay is things like that. What happened to the Lions when Decker checked in, when he goes to the thing, raises his hand, and then says he didn't check in. Those I'm not okay with, okay? Something has to happen. I don't know what the answer is, but this was not okay. He so clearly dropped that ball. Second thing, that punt. He lined up. They got the ball back. Now, we held them to a field goal. Kudos to the defense. But we would have, no, we can't give up those 3 points, and we can't have that penalty and give them back the ball. And the last one was a fourth down. We need to score. When we're that close, and then they come with some trickery like that. Shamaj Morgan it looked like a Philly special that they ran against TCU. You don't do that down at the 3, 4, 5 yard line. And even though you put it, and you take Davis Warren out, you keep Davis Warren in, okay? And if you're going to put Orji in, you do another run. I know they're going to know he's going to run, but it's better than what they did. First of all, I wouldn't mind a little pass, and they didn't even use Loveland. Why would you not pass it to Loveland? That's our number one play. Second, give it to Orji, because he's been good. I mean, every time he touches the ball, he gets 4 or 5 yards. A lot of plays. I would have been even if they did a little end around, something like that. But to have him pass it, Samaj Morgan pass it, when he's not a quarterback, and that has to be a perfect pass. So those 3 things happened. And just to say, there was a 4th thing, like my wife pointed out, and the reason I didn't bring this in the top 3, because more than likely they would have scored, but his knee was down on that touchdown. He was down by about a half a yard. And they reviewed it and didn't overturn it. And who knows, maybe they stop him in the next couple plays and they kick a field goal. I know this football and things happen. I get it. But I'm just saying, if those things are switched the other way, this is a ball game. So it wasn't all bad for our boys. They come out, move it down like butter, just like Michigan State. Excuse me while I take a drink. Yeah, that was O'Leary. Had some technical problems there. I hope this is okay. And what a pass. I was nervous about the pass when I saw him, but he threaded the needle. He did what he had to do, and the guy's got some skills. He does. He really does. If we can keep putting Orji in, but have Orji passing. Just pass a little bit. Gary Danielson was saying during the broadcast, if you look at Orji's arm, he's got some good skills. He's got, his mechanics are great. No reason he shouldn't be a better passer. And I think we need to develop him into at least a decent passer. If we could bring him in and pass now and that'll change everything. Probably too late for this season. Anyway, so the score is 31-17. What's there? We have a nice drive, move it down the field, about to score. Orji has a great run. Apparently stops out of bounds. It was hard to see where he stepped out. He ended up at the 5 yard line, but they moved it back a little bit and just got stuck there. And then they did that crazy play, like I said. Just not a play you need to run. They score there, people. That would make it 31-24. Yes, 31-24. And we're within a touchdown. All we need to do is stop them or get an onside kick. Onside kick, I probably would not have done. Go out there and just, if you stop them, great. If you can't, you don't deserve to win. But none of that happened. They went down and killed the clock and then scored at the end. Now, was it right for them to score? They weren't passing, but they weren't taking a knee. I don't know. College football is a little different than the pros, okay? College football, you get style wins, and nothing's a guaranteed. However, Oregon is going to be the Big Ten champion. So they're not going to have to, sneak in as an at-large. And if they did, I guess they'd want to, say, look what we did to Ohio State, look what we did to Michigan. 38 to 17 is a lot different than 31-17, right? I don't know. I think they should have just taken a knee. I think what they did was more for them than to embarrass us, to be honest. And you know what? If you don't like it, stop them. Why did you not? Now, that was their first team, so it's not like they put their second team in. So it was still their first team, but we should have stopped them. Whether it was right or wrong, it can be up for debate. I would have liked them to see him take a knee, but it's not going to kill me. I understand. And that's basically it. Look, on a season that you're not doing great, be happy with what you do well. Be happy with any positives. This game turned out to be a positive. This was the best, not just the number one team. This is the best team in the country. And again, you know, we have all our guys in there, and Will Johnson. I'd play him again, and I would say it's going to be a close game. I would bet. I'd definitely take the odds under 14. I would have bet under 14 in this game. Yes, I would have lost, but Vegas has too much to do with these out games, because I'm not sure he would have done that if the spread wasn't 14. Coaching, look, like I said about Sharon, I don't think he's going anywhere, nor should he. It would be a travesty. He has recruited like a madman. Give him his players. Give him another year. See what happens. He's showing some opportunities that he really might be a good coach. His players love him. Now, when it comes to Kurt Campbell, when it comes to Wink Martindale, Kurt Campbell, it's not all on him, but he's got to go. There's no way. He's a walking dead man. He is not going to be here next year. He has just made too many boneheaded calls. Some of the times it's not been his fault. It's just if we had executed his call, he would have looked like a genius. But he did not. But the call was still dangerous. It's like sometimes Dan Campbell, and I love Dan Campbell, but he'll go on a play that everybody knows he shouldn't go for it. You just know it. Get the points. Happened against San Francisco in the NFC championship game. He goes for it. He misses it. Everybody's, oh, what's wrong? Why did he do this? He should have gone for it. Well, if he had made it, nobody would be saying anything. They'd be going, no, Dan Campbell, the aggressiveness. I love this. If he had made that pass, if that trick play at the end for a touchdown, we'd be like, man, I tell you, I think I was wrong about Kurt Campbell. What a trick play. What a play. They got him. They weren't ready. So it comes down to you execute it. But here's when you know if it's a good call or not, before it happens. Does your heart say this is a good call? If it doesn't, it probably isn't. And even if you make it, but it's still not a good call. But sometimes you do got to take some risk. But in his case, too many bad calls. They just didn't handle the quarterback situation right. Went from everything to another thing. And then, yes, Tuttle I still think, is our best quarterback overall, but he's hurt still. They should have known that. He wasn't ready to come in. You know, they keep everything to the cuff. They don't, in press conferences, Sharon doesn't say anything. You know, let us know sometimes. I know you don't want the other teams to know, but when it's the day before the game, if they're not playing Tuttle, just say he's probably has some lingering injuries. Anyway, they put in, him in, and he wasn't ready. Now he did a spark for those 3 plays against Washington, but he is our best quarterback in my opinion, but he's done. He's retired. We talked about that. Medically retired, physically retired, and we're going the rest of the season, the next 3 games with Warren Davis, and I'm sure you'll see Orgy come in. I'm just hoping they got 2 games to get ready for Ohio State. That's what I'm really rooting for right now. That would save our season. And as far as Wink Martindale, he's shown some promise. There's the Michigan defense a number of times have bent without breaking, but they're just giving up too many yards coming into the game. Too much. I know their guys are hurt, but they just got to figure out something. They give too much space. They got to chip these guys off the line. They can't give them 10 yards, 15 yards or so word. Then they come up too close and they go over them. There's got to be a happy medium, and that's not for me to figure out. Wink Martindale, that's up to you to figure it out. That's why you're paid what you're paid. Okay? There's somewhere in the middle. Figure it out. They got enough talent to deal with that. Our offensive line, where you talked about that, does well with the pass, but they're just Evan Link has done a little better. I think Josh Priest got hurt again, so he's out. I don't know. It's just not what I'm used to at Michigan. Next year is going to be different. We have our number one guy, Andrew Babalola. You wait to see. They're going to be running right behind him, and we've got so many guys coming in, so many cornerback from that committed to Georgia's coming to us now. Of course, we're still waiting for Bryce Underwood. I'm not going to go get into a recruiting video, but there's a lot of things happening, and a lot of people are coming to Michigan. So that's all I'm going to do for today. Again, I apologize about my voice. Again, go vote and love your neighbor. Do something good for an elderly person in your area. Just go out and be a small part of changing this world for the better. God bless, and go blue.